Welcome to Beyond the Workout with your host, Eric Dunstan. Hello, everyone. This is Coach E. I just want you to know that anything you hear on Beyond the Workout podcast is just information only. It is not a diagnosis for your issues. So anything you hear for well being, nutrition, fitness, exercise, any of those things, just take it that way as information. If you need help for a specific situation, please seek a professional. See your doctor, see a professional personal trainer, and they will diagnose your issues and they will take care of you. All right, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another show of Beyond the Workout. It's me, Coach E, Eric Dunstan, and this show is directed to men over 50. And the reason I'm targeting men over 50, because guess what? I'm over 50, closing in on 60. And the one thing that has been important to me for my health and for developing muscle at this age has been protein. So I decided to look up the benefits of protein for men over 50, and particularly, getting the extra protein, getting these protein powders. Should you do it? Should you not? I don't know. I mean, it's up to you, really. And I'm the kind of coach that will encourage you to do what's best for your health. Supplementation isn't bad, but it's good to get your nutrient sources, I should say, nutrient sources from whole foods. But I decided I wanted to check out, protein powders. And the reason, let me just tell you, the reason I came up with this is because I look at people that look down on protein powders. And for a long time, I was one of them. I just felt like that's just overly processed, man made chemical just ground together. I mean, like, really, what's the benefits of it? And I thought it would do more harm to the body. And the taste isn't all that great, and people usually don't know how to put it together to make it really good or put the type of ingredients in it to make it even much more healthier for you. I came across a cookbook, and at the end of this, I'm going to share a recipe with you. I came across a cookbook that really helped me understand how to boost my protein powders to make it a little bit more healthier and definitely more tastier. But the thing is, I don't do protein powders every single day. There are some that do it. They take it for breakfast and go from there. But I look for balance. I might do a protein powder shake 3 times a week, maybe four. It depends on if I'm in a hurry and so on and so forth. But what I wanted to share with guys out there, men over 50, and ladies, you can benefit from this too. And you younger ones, you can share it. You can benefit, of course, but you can also share it with your 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 parents that are over 50, or your grandparents, or friends that you know of, anyone. You can share this podcast with them and have them consider getting into taking in more protein for their health. Not too much protein, but just the right amounts. And I'll tell you how you can figure that out too in this show. So that's what this is going to be about, the importance of protein. Now, the reason, and I'm gonna reference this article because the reason why is because protein is great for maintaining and building muscle. But as we get older, there's this, I don't know if you call it disease, or I don't know, I don't like to say disease, but this condition, let's say this condition called sarcopenia. Now, sarcopenia, I don't think it affects everyone from what I know, but it's particularly just like, how would you say, your your muscles decreasing or getting weaker over time. So that's pretty much what sarcopenia is. I always say that wrong. And that's what's mentioned in this article about, getting older and suffering from that. And it does mention how muscle loss can be prevented or reversed. And you can do that with getting enough exercise, enough protein to help you build muscle mass. Now, the one thing that's mentioned here too is anabolic anabolic resistance. And I want to just, in layman's terms, tell you what that means. It's like your muscles are not listening to you as well as when you get older. Isn't that something? It's just like your muscles are ignoring all the signals and what you want it to do for what it should do for you. And even if you eat a lot of protein and work out, your muscles just won't grow as easily as when you were younger. That's the anabolic resistance. And that's a big reason why when we get older, we become weaker and lose muscle. And that's that sarcopenia. Now, this is natural that's happening in the body, and there are certain things that we cannot control that can cause this. It's hormone levels going down. Now, you really can't control that unless, of course, you went the alternative medicine way and I guess added hormones to your body. It's possibly an expensive process. And would you really want to do that? I mean, just as they say, age gracefully and grow old gracefully. But there are other things you can do to help fight this is like eating more protein, doing exercises that work your muscles harder. And it's something that I really encourage, and it's called lifting weights, resistance training. So let's go into why protein is good for the body because you know protein um, it feeds the muscle mass. That's what it does. It feeds your muscles and it breaks the protein down into amino acids, and that is what helps your muscles get fed, and you work hard on them and keep feeding them. They should either stay like they are. They might, of course, they're going to reduce a little bit, or you can possibly get a little bit bigger. Now, that's what I had done when I had lost my weight, went down to 195 pounds. I like to say 195.6 pounds. I'm gonna weigh myself again soon this week. But I got down to 195.6. I decided that's tearing the old stuff off, like renovating a house, breaking it all the way down. And now I'm in the muscle building phase. But the goal is to not build so much muscle that I exceed the 200-pound mark. I'm really trying to stay at 195, continue to lose body fat, but build muscle and try to maintain that balance. So that's really in a nutshell, the benefits of why you should take protein, what you can do to build your muscle by, I mean, why it's needed to help, because it helps build muscle. Whew, that was a little tough one to get out there. But anyway, now I want to direct your attention to um, your sources of protein. And like I said earlier, when I started this show, I mentioned getting it from whole food, natural sources. Now, I get my protein from grass-fed beef. I do ribeye steaks, grass-fed ribeye steaks, or grass-fed ground beef. I do frozen wild caught salmon, which is a fatty fish. Got your omega-3 fats in it, which is good for you. I do cod, which is a white fish, which is great for you. And that's a good source of protein. I do chicken. I had stopped chicken for a while, but I do chicken. I do thigh or chicken tenders, like the breast meat, um, skinless. Now I make sure my chicken is it's called is it called cage free or free range chicken? That's what I look for the most, and those that use less, well, no, not less. Let's say put it like this: no uh, added hormones, these added chemicals. steroids, anything like that. I'll try to look on the package and say it says minimally processed. That's what I look for in the chicken that I purchase. And I also do pork. I do eat pork, not a whole lot, but I might do that 2, 3 times a week because my body hasn't had a bad reaction for it. I know some people are against pork, but I do that. That's where I get a lot of my protein sources from, and a little bit from seeds and nuts. But I have to be careful for if if they were roasted in certain oils. I can't have certain oils. So I like to get, for example, raw cashews. Very good. Has a buttery flavor to me. That's what I think. Um, and then the non, I guess you can say, whole food sources are your protein powder. So there are different types of protein powders. I'm just going to run down this list with you real quick. And it talks about whey protein. This is like the most commonly used suggested protein powder you can get. It's good for after workouts, good for everyday use. It is a milk base, and so some people can't tolerate it because of the whey. It can be irritant on the stomach. Then you got your soy protein, that helps. Now, I avoid soy. I was when I read about soy, and don't quote me on this, but well, quote me on it, but do your research. But I did some research and found like soy is not that good for the male hormones, the hormones of male. So I stay away from any soy products. I don't totally avoid soy because I make this I make this mayo that uses miso, and miso is ground up soybean. So, but any processed soy proteins, powders, or added to my mayo and things like that, I try to avoid. I don't do too much of that. Then you got the milk protein. You'll see some containers that mention milk protein because they're deriving that protein source from milk, and it supports the body's defenses, and it's also build muscle. Egg protein that releases a little bit more slowly than whey protein, and you can take that throughout the day. Then you got your hemp protein, which is a plant-based protein, and it has a good way of getting your omega-3 fatty acids. Then you got pea protein, and this is also plant-based. It's easy digestible and it's hypoallergenic. Then you got brown rice protein. It's another plant-based option. I try to stay away from those grain proteins like that, brown rice, because I have lowered my grain intake to almost nil. And if this is something that I'm going to suggest to all of you that are over 50, and pretty much anyone that's trying to lose excess body fat, that there's a way to just ditch the grains, find these alternatives that work just as well, and you will see a big difference in your health. Um, so that's what I'm strongly recommend for you. And finishing up this article, there's some specific rules about eating too much protein, and I like what it says here. And let me get my calculator because I got to calculate something for you, even though I already know it in my head. So it's strongly recommended that you don't eat too much protein. And this article actually recommends don't eat more than 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. Now, I don't want you to go that high to 2 grams per kilogram. I'm gonna say like this. You can quote Coach E on this. Eat 1 to 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. Now, here's the thing: a lot of people confuse you, and they will they will take out that kilogram and they'll say, "Hey, you should eat uh, a gram of protein per pound of body weight." And then when I was growing up doing bodybuilding competitions, that was something that was harped on me to, oh, eat a gram of protein per pound of body weight. And then I thought, wow, I weigh 200 pounds. That's 200 grams of protein. That's a lot of protein. And it's hard to digest, hard to get in the body. And in the summertime, your body does work. I mean, let's change that. Anytime your body does work hard to digest protein. So in the summertime, when that heat is bearing down on you, your body is working hard to digest protein and fighting against the elements of the heat. And you can feel the difference. You can feel a little weird on hot days. And I think that was my issue on a lot of these hot days, eating a lot of protein, working out, and getting in that sun. It was really a battle for my body. But that's another topic for you to do research on. If I want to talk about it, I might, but I have to do a little bit more research on that. But getting back to the eating of how many grams of protein. So it mentioned no more than 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. And I'm gonna tell you 1 to 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. So here's how you calculate that. Remember, I told you I was 195. I'm 195.6 pounds. That's what I have there. Oop, there's the camera. 195.6. Now, a kilogram is 2.2046 to I guess a gram. That's is kilograms 2.2046. So forget the 0.46. Just take that number, 195.6, your weight, not mine, and divide it by what did I just do? 195.6. 195.6. Can't get this right. And divide it by 2.2 and hit equal. So that's my number, 88.9090909. Rounded up, 89. So if I was to take in 1 gram per kilogram of body weight, I would just take in 89 grams of protein. Now, let's say if I did that 89 times 1.5, that's how much protein I would take, 133.5 grams a day. That is not difficult to do. You have to eat a lot, but let's just go to that number of eating 89 grams, per my kilogram of body weight. Now, I might do a protein powder drink, and that can have anywhere from 25 to 40 grams of protein. Now, let's just say I have one that has 40 grams of protein. Right there, I'm almost halfway there on one meal. But suppose I had my eggs in the morning along with my turkey bacon, and then in mid-morning I had my shake, and then in the afternoon I had my salad with some steak or chicken on it, and then I had a dinner and I had chicken or steak. Right there, I know without even thinking about it or calculating it, I've hit my macro, my protein macro, my 89 grams or more. So it's not that hard, not that difficult to do. And you know, I think uh I think you guys out there can get this done and just calculate it for a few days and kind of hit your mark and know where you're supposed to be without always calculating your macros, which can be time consuming, but it's enjoyable to know your numbers and you'll see the results. So the next thing it mentions about too much protein or some specific rules about protein. Avoid protein sources that are highly processed or have a lot of fat. Highly processed could mean the protein powders. It's okay to have it on occasion, but protein bars, protein cakes, and cookies and things like that, get that out of your diet. That's recommended. You can choose healthy options like nuts and beans. Be careful on the beans; they can be high in starch, which can affect, your losing of this excess body fat. And if you want to talk to me about that, I can explain to you about the starch, the grains, and the flours and how they affect you. And one good suggestion it has here, which I just mentioned, spread out your proteins over all your meals, like your breakfast, your snacks, and your dinner, lunch and dinner. And then the key to eating anything that works hard on your body, like protein sources, is to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, and really up your dark green vegetables. So that's pretty much it, what I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about. And then I said I wanted to share a recipe with you. And let me get this picture ready for you. Let's see here. So I got this picture, and I actually created this little recipe card. And I don't know if any of you all would want it. Um, I'm getting this card up. So this is what it looks like. It's this heart health smoothie, and I got that from a publication that I purchased, a cookbook that I purchased, and that is actually my drink right there on my stove. And you can see the ingredients there, what is recommended. It says 2 cups of frozen organic cherries. Organic cherries, they actually boost your heart health with antioxidants that reduce inflammation and lower cholesterol levels. Then it has 1/2 ripe avocado peeled and pitted. You can actually just slice it in half with the peel on it and just carve out 1/2 and throw that in there. Avocados are rich in monounsaturated fats. It lowers bad cholesterol, improves heart function. And then the next thing you see is 2 teaspoons of raw cacao powder or cocoa powder. I use cacao powder because raw cacao powder, the flavonoids uh, within it improve blood flow, lower blood pressure, and they're antioxidant rich. You can get you can get organic raw cacao powder from your local grocery store. I got mine from Walmart, of all places. You can get it from Publix if you have that in your area. You probably can get it from Food Line. And if you're in the northern area, they have Giant and Safeway. You could probably get it there. Lowe's Foods. Just go in and look down the um, aisle with the flowers and look in the organic section, and you should be able to find it. Or, everybody's favorite grocery store, department store, retail store is Amazon. You can always get it there. Then we have, it says, a 1/4 cup of hulled hemp seeds. Hemp seeds are omega 3s. They reduce heart disease risk, lower blood pressure, improve cholesterol. And then, of course, you have your chocolate protein powder. Now, let me just pause right there on that protein powder real quick. There are 2 kinds that we use in this household, and I am going to pivot from this and take a quick picture. I want to show you a picture of the one that I use, the ingredients. I'm not going to give you you got to ask me for which one I use because I want to hear from you. So you contact me through ericdunstan.com or on my um, uh, Instagram at coach_Eric Dunstan at Instagram or Facebook. You can reach out to me at Eric Dunstan there on Facebook and just to ask me, and I'll tell you what the protein I actually use. But here is a picture of the ingredients of the one that I use right here. Those are the ingredients in the one I use. And the key to that one, it has no natural flavor. Then this is another one that we use in this household, and here's the ingredients on that one. That you scan all through that, you'll see it has natural flavor. I did a show about natural flavor. I try to avoid anything with natural flavor, even though I will take this protein from now and again, now from time to time. I do very, very little of anything with natural flavor. So we get back to the picture that I have of the smoothie, and it goes down to 1.5 cups of unsweetened almond milk. My wife actually makes the almond milk from just a bag of almonds. She puts it in a Vitamix with some water and use a milk bag, and we got our almond milk. And she'll add like some vanilla to it, but she doesn't add sugar to it. And then we use, it says here, raw honey. I use a teaspoon of raw honey. You can get organic. Mine is non-organic, but a raw honey is an antioxidant and it may reduce heart disease risk. And it's a natural sweetener, of course, with health benefits. And then the last thing I have, besides the ice, is fine sea salt. Fine sea salt is trace minerals that help maintain blood pressure, balance body fluids when it's used in moderation. And if you look at it, it's just a pinch. I actually have measuring spoons that says a pinch, a smidgen, a dash, and things like that. So I can take a pinch and throw it in there. And then, of course, you see on this recipe card how to combine them. But the key is it says 2 cups of organic cherries, 2 scoops of that protein powder, 1.5 cups of unsweetened almond milk. And if you look on that card, the last thing it says, and this is why it has that much ingredients, enjoyed best when shared. So now back to me. So what I'm saying is, you guys out there, when you make yourself one, make your wife one, make your best friend, make your son one, make your daughter one. Just make one and share it, and it's very good. It tastes good, and I really hope that this helps. And like I say, you reach out to me if you want that recipe card. You probably already took a picture of it. That's fine. But if you want to know what proteins I use, reach out to me, ericdunston.com. There's a Let's Chat button. It's free to chat with me. I just like to get into your head and see what you're thinking, what you need, and see if we can work together. Okay? Well, I hope this helps you guys. Men over 50, take care of your bodies, get strong, build those muscles, and as always, make excellent choices around your health. And we'll see you next show. This is Coach E signing out. Thanks for listening to Beyond the Workout podcast. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please be sure to check me out at ericdunston.com and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Physique Improvements. Take care, everyone.